Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Nexus Wargaming. I wanted to take a little time to give everyone an overview of what this channel is about and what we're going to do in the future here. So with that in mind, before we go that, hey, trying to get to 500 subscribers, so like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps out the channel. It's going to help me know what you know I know I sort of put content out there, but I am always interested in the feedback. I'll be the first to say that I don't know everything, and a lot of the things that I learn about my content, I learned from comments. So please, just if ever you don't agree with something, hey, let me know. I'm happy to change my opinion on something. So keep that in mind here. Let's get into what this channel is about. So. I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, and I enjoy a lot of different sorts of content on YouTube. My channel, though, I want it to be, and what it has been in the past, and what I'd like it to continue to be, is sort of a place where you can come and you can learn with me about how to become better gamers. A big part of my channel is sort of as I play battle reports, as I do competitive analysis, I'm interested in becoming a better gamer. And if I can help you through my experience become a better gamer as well, I think that would be great. I'd love to also learn from you as the community here. I don't want this to be a I know everything sort of channel. I want to play games. I want to do research. I want to do analysis. And I want to present that in front of you, the users, and get your feedback. And hopefully all of us together can become better gamers. So as I already said before, a big part of my channel content in the past and really going forward is going to be a lot of competitive analysis. That's not for everybody. I'll be the first to say that sort of high-end competitive analysis isn't for everybody. And for that, I think that's great. I think it's, if you want to continue following my channel, I'd always love it. If ever, you don't find competitive analysis to be that interesting, I am going to have some other things like narrative and lore of war games. So some of the narratives that go on in the lore of war games. I'm going to be doing some narrative battle reports. I have done in the past. I'm going to, but they are. I sort of say that I've only got so much time, and so those narrative reports may not be as frequent here. The other thing I'm going to be covering is more minor is other aspects of the game, whether it's the community, painting, hobbying, modeling. I'm an okay painter. I'm not a great painter, but I do some painting and I do some hobbying. I don't. If ever I show you some of my work, I'll be the first to admit it's going to be tabletop quality. So just keep that in mind here. I do talk about other aspects, and I will, but that's not going to be the priority of the channel here. So give you an idea of what you're getting into with Nexus. So what are some future plans for 2024? I'll be the first to say that this is all a learning experience for me. I'm not some sort of creator with 20 years of experience. I've been doing this about a year now. And throughout that process, I felt I've gotten better and better. And I'd like to continue to get better. And I'd love to continue to get better with your feedback. I have sort of zoned in what I want to focus on for 2024. I say focus on because, I don't do this full time. And, I'd love to be able to just, this to be the only thing I do. But the truth is that I have to sort of fit this into my life. And so for 2024, I am primarily going to be focusing on Grimdark Future. One Page Rules Grimdark Future. I'm going to be looking and building and maintaining and analyzing a lot of competitive army lists. I love Grimdark Future. I would love to do this for other games. So I just want you to know that's where a lot of my analysis has been going on. I've been doing a lot of play testing, a lot of army list analysis, a lot of discussions, a lot of balance feedback. And what I sort of want to do is I want to finish up that work this year. And so you're going to see this year in 2024 more content that's focused specifically on Grimdark Future. Going to be working on a competitive army list and analysis. I'm going to be working on some competitive scenarios, along with that to be basically tournament packs. So, and when I say this, I know that Grimdark OPR does have their own tournament pack. I would say it's if you're a real competitive player, that may not quite be your jive. If you want to use their official tournament packs, that's great. That's awesome. If you do want something a little more tailored for competitive play, hey, that's where I'm going to be focusing on as well. I don't view myself and my work. I know that just as some clarification here, I think that one page rules is a lot more of a balanced game than a lot of other games. I do feel there can be some work, and I can provide some valuable work in sort of creating sort of a separate rule set to say if you want to be a high end tournament player, this is where you're going to go. I'll be the first to say that I'm not an expert game developer. The way I sort of want to approach this is I want the work that I'll be doing in Grimdark Future to be the start of a conversation rather than me sort of I don't want anyone to get the idea that the content and the analysis and the armies and the scenarios that I put out are just just the sort of the goals, the truth, if I will. I want this to be a conversation starter. I actually want more creators coming in and creating competitive analysis, competitive armies and scenarios for Grimdark Future. I want to have more discussions about balance from a competitive standpoint and feedback. So just when I'm sort of mentioning this to you, I want you to sort of understand that hopefully, and I've said it before, hopefully my content can be a springboard for others to jump into the competitive side of one page rules. I think that one page rules and Grimdark Future, there's just so much opportunity for a lot of deep, high-end competitive play. And the reason that I'm doing this is that I want more 40K players who are playing in the competitive scene to come to OPR. I don't like the reputation that One Page Rules has gotten as being a casual game. I just completely disagree with it. And I want to develop a game that those 40K players can come to, can play a high-end game, and not sort of have to deal with all the nonsense that's going on in 40K. So that's sort of my goals for 2024. I mentioned this as well. One thing that I want this to be is the army list, the scenarios, the tournament packs. I want them all to be completely free. I'm not here, I'm not going to ever, this is never going to be my job. This is never going to be something that it's always going to be something that I do on the side. This is a labor of love for me, and I understand it as that being. And I want to provide resources and whatever I can provide. I want that to be the guarantee between myself and the community, which is that everything I produce, it's free. Take it, modify it, change it, do whatever you want with it. I'm just here giving it to you. And as I've said, I would love my work and the stuff I produce to be access to everyone. Hey, continue to refine it. So that is really what my approach is going to be going forward in 2024. I am going to be doing some narrative play. I am going to be doing some Age of Fantasy and some other games. But I want to let you know that for 2024, it's going to be primarily focused on Grimdark Future. So let's get into some of the future plans beyond 2024. So one of the things, and I do want to focus on, it's not just, even this year in 2024, it's not just going to be Grimdark Future. I'm going to be looking at some of these other areas like Age of Fantasy regiments, narrative battles. One thing I really want to do is create some discussion panels and partnerships with other creators. I'm already speaking to several other creators and getting their thoughts, getting their opinions. And I would love to just have some sort of a a multi-creator. We just come together and we just have sort of a forum about discussions about, especially whether it's one-page rules, or I loved especially focusing on the competitive side of it. I think there is so much room for growth in the competitive side of OPR. And of course, I want to say that all these things that I'm discussing, all these balance packs and these army lists and these scenarios, I want this all to be free. It's just all, hey, here, go. Because really my goal for this channel is to, I want this channel to be a place where you can come to become a better gamer, but also I want to grow one-page rules specifically. I think that the work that I'm doing for Grimdark Future, I am going to be, even in 2024, doing some Age of Fantasy Regiments work. It just isn't going to be my focus. I have to sort of, as I'm sort of planning out my year and the time I have, I'm going to focus on Grimdark Future. But beyond 2024, once I'm done with Grimdark Future, I want to do a lot of similar work for Age of Fantasy Regiments. I'm a big rank and flank guy, and this is the next thing. In fact, the moment that I'm sort of done with Grimdark Future and getting that established, I'd love to do something similar with Age of Fantasy Regiments. I'd love to have competitive analysis, competitive armies, and scenarios for regiments, some mechanical work. I think there is so much work coming out in the rank and flank, and I think Old World has reinvigorated this playstyle that I think there's just so much opportunity for Age of Fantasy Regiments. So the other thing I'm going to do, and I've done a little bit in the past, is some narrative battle reports. I am going to continue to do my narrative Mage Knight Age of Fantasy campaign, but I have had to step back a little bit. Those are going to be less frequent because, again, with the limited time I have, I'm going to be focusing a little more on those Grimdark Future. But I am going to do narrative battle reports, some discussion panels and partnerships. I'm already talking to several people about that. A lot of what I want to have also is just some balanced discussions and feedback. I want to get feedback from the community. What do you think? I will say it again. I am not an all-knowing expert person. I want to be that catalyst to get feedback discussions going. Even if you disagree with my content, I would love to, hey, what feedback? I'm honestly, the feedback that I've gotten so far, I've tried my best to incorporate that to say, hey, thank you so much. So let me know, don't ever feel that that I'm just the expert in this. One thing that I've been really enjoying is Epic 40K, and I'm day by day, I am waiting for that small scale 6mm small scale game from One Page Rules. I just love this format. I love Epic 40K, and I'm definitely going to be playing the 6mm scale. So that's definitely going to be part of my battle reports this year, is Epic 40K. And once OPR 6 small scale comes out, yeah. I want to get back into some Kings of War battle reports and analysis. I've taken a step back from Kings of War just because, again, I'm focused on Grimdark Future. I'd love to do some work for Grimdark for Kings of War. I love the game. I'm just letting you know that's going to be sort of lower on the priorities this year. The other thing I'm really interested in, sort of dovetailing with Age of Fantasy Regiments, is Warhammer the Old World and Warhammer Armies Project 9th Age analysis. I think Warhammer the Old World this year is going to be this pivotal year, and where it all sort of falls out. Who's going to stick with the Old World? Who's going to go over to something like an Age of Fantasy Regiments? Who's going to go into Kings of War? Who's going to go into maybe even 9th Age or Warhammer Armies Project? I want to be. This is something I'm super interested in, and I'm going to be involved in these discussions. So those are plans that some of the stuff that I'm mentioning, I'm going to do a little this year, but honestly, it may be 2025 before I really start getting a lot more involved in some of these other areas. But you're going to see some of this stuff come up this year as well. The last thing I want to say is thank you for your support. When I started this channel, I would have never thought I never even thought I would be a YouTube content creator. So I want to say thank you so much for just supporting me. I've created a Discord that I'll put in there. Hey, I've set up a coffee account, so you want to buy me a coffee, great. I've got a Patreon that if you really want to join here, that's great. I want to say, so I've set up the Patreon that we are going to have a little members channel here. But one thing I want to do is that I don't want to sort of gate any of my content for my Patreon subscribers. In other words, if you want to support me on Patreon, it's just out of you just want to support what I'm doing. That's sort of how I want to approach it. So in other words, I don't want you to be a Patreon to have to get certain this or certain that or previews on here. I just really want people who truly are passionate about what I'm going to do. Hey, send me a little money here and there. That's going to be great. If you don't, if you can't support me, hey, that's perfectly fine. Give me feedback. Let me know how we can make this better, because that's really what this is about. It's about making wargaming better. And for now, it's one-page rules. And as this continues to grow, as we continue to change, yeah, I'll be looking at other games as well. So thank you so much. And I just appreciate everything.